All right, we are working on Unit 1, Lesson 7. So please turn to page 34 of your student activity book and we will get started. Today, we are going to solve problems with tens, y'all, because you've been working hard with those tens count bys. So let's write an equation and solve it. No big deal. This is going to be easy for you guys. Okay, number 1. Raymundo has 9 dimes. How many cents does he have? Well, we know a dime equals 10 cents. So he has 9 dimes times 10 cents equals what? Use your tens count bys, and you will find the answer to be 90 cents. Okay, number 2. Yoko has some dimes in her pocket and no other coins. She has a total of 70 cents. How many dimes does she have? So, we have 70 cents. Oops, Miss Vervynck forgot to underline 70 cents and dimes, which is 10 cents. So we have 70 cents divided by what equals 10. Or you can write it the other way, how we have been doing it, with the solution equation, because this would be the situation equation. The solution equation would be 10 times what equals 70. And that might help you solve it better. The answer is 7. All right, number 3. Jonah picked 40 strawberries. He gave them to 10 of his friends. Each friend got the same number of strawberries. How many strawberries did each friend get? So there's 40 strawberries, and he gave them to 10 friends. We have 40 divided by 10 equals what? Or you can write it the other way like we did up here. And the answer is 4 strawberries. All right, number 4. There are 10 Space Command trading cards in each pack. Zoe bought 5 packs of cards. How many cards did she buy in all? So there's 10 cards, Space Command trading cards in each pack. And there's 5 packs. So 5 times 10 equals what? The answer is 50. Number 5. There were 80 students in the auditorium. There were 10 students in each row. How many rows of students were there? So we have 80 students and 10 students in each row. Okay. So 80 students divided by 10 in each row. So how many rows were there? Or you can write it as what times 10 equals 80. Use your tens count bys and you will find that the answer is 8 rows. Okay, number 6. A roll of ribbon has 60 inches of ribbon. Harper cut all the ribbon into equal length pieces. How many inches long is each piece? So we have 60 inches and it's cut into 10 equal length pieces. So write 60 inches, and we're going to divide that 60 inches into 10 equal length pieces. And how many inches long is each piece? The answer is 6 inches. All right, so we're going to move on to, okay, actually we're going to stop. Okay, so back to this page. Problems 4 and 5. We're going to look at a little bit closer now. Okay, so problem 4. We already figured it out, and this was the equation that we found. So we used this to solve it, and we found the answer was 50 or whatever. We're going to look at this a little bit closer. So the 5 in our equation equals the number of packs of trading cards Zoe bought right here, and multiplied by 10, which equals the number of trading cards in each pack up here. And that equals this box. And the box is the total number of trading cards Zoe bought. So each of these numbers represents something from the word problem. Well, the box represents an unknown number, but we can also use any letter to represent the unknown number. That box or the letter is called a variable. It's super awesome. So in this case, we're trying to find cards. So we could represent the box. So let's erase the box, and we will use the letter C for cards to represent the total number of trading cards Zoe bought. So it's something really cool. So if you start seeing letters in problems, that's why. And just like number 5, these are the two equations that we found to solve these problems. So if we erase the boxes and used letters as our variables, we're trying to find the row. So we could use R. So R represents how many rows of students there were. Super cool, super awesome. And then we would solve for R. And we got the answer that was 8. Okay, moving on. So turn to what page is that? 35 in your student activity book, and we'll continue on. So this says, when you write equations, you can use a letter to represent an unknown number. This letter is called a variable, and we just talked about that in the last little slide. So each of these equations has a variable, and you can read through those if you want, pause it if you need. So we're going to move on and solve each equation. So for 7 through 10, I just wanted to point out that we've learned the 2's count bys, the 5's count bys, and the 10's count bys. And we kind of like gathered a general rule for each one of those count bys. So for 2's, remember the product is always even. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 0. The product's always even. For 5's, there's always a 0 or a 5 in the ones place. And for 10's, we just learned that the ones digit is always 0. We kind of decided that those were rules for each one of those count bys. So that can help us remember when we're solving these that how it'll make it easier for us. Okay, so number 7. 14 equals 7 times A. So what is A? Well, we can think about our rules for these count bys, and we're gonna use 2's. So 7 times 2 equals 14. You can pause it and count on your 2's count bys, figure that out if you need to. So number 8, 90 divided by G equals 9. So I'm going to go ahead and say that this is probably a product of a 10's count bys, and it is. All right, 9. 10 divided by N equals 5. So N equals 2, because we can use our 2's count bys to get to 10. Number 10, 8 multiplied by F equals 40. We can use our 5's count bys. All right, moving on. Write an equation and solve the problem. Nothing new there. Okay. Number 11, a box of straws holds 60 straws. There are 10 straws in each row. How many rows are there? Okay, so we know that we have 60 total rows, or 60 total straws. Sorry, guys. And we're going to write this equation backwards because I think it'll be a little bit easier for you to see and use your multiplication tables and stuff. Okay, so 60 equals, and we're going to use letters as our variable, not boxes anymore. So we need to figure out rows. We're going to find rows. So we're going to use R as our variable. R times 10. And we're using 10 because there's 10 straws in each row and there's 60 straws altogether. So 60 is the product, and R represents how many rows, and 10 represents the number of straws in each row. So our answer, R equals 6 rows. Oh, goodness. Okay. Number 12. Ethan used 9 dimes to pay for his book. How much did his book cost? All right, so we know that a dime is 10 cents, and he used 9 of those dimes. So 9 times 10 equals, how much did his book cost? So we're trying to find cost. So we'll represent it with C. And 9 times 10, so C, oops, sorry guys, got off track there. So the answer is 90 cents. And then you guys write it out. I know you have better handwriting than me. Okay, number 13. There are 10 relay teams with an equal number of people on each team running a race. There are 50 people running the race. How many people are there on each team? So we have 10 relay teams, and there are 50 people running in the race. So we know that the total is 50. Writing it backwards again. And we need to figure out how many people. So we're going to represent this unknown factor with P. So what does P multiplied by 10 relay teams? Goodness, you guys, I am scatterbrained. Okay, 10 multiplied by what equals 50? And the answer is 5 people. Number 14. Amanda has 20 bracelets. She gave the same number of bracelets to 2 of her friends. How many bracelets did she give to each friend? There's 20 bracelets, and she gave the same number to 2 of her friends. So we're going to use B as our variable letter because we're trying to find bracelets. There's 20 bracelets, and we have B times 2 because there's 2 friends. How many bracelets did each friend get to equal the total of 20 bracelets? The answer is 10 bracelets. That's a lot of bracelets per person. Okay. So now we are going to keep moving on to page 36 in your student activity book, and we are doing one of my favorite things, Puzzled Penguin. Oh, yes, I love him. Okay, so you know the deal, guys. You have to do the Puzzled Penguin by yourself. So I want you to read it and write the answer in words right here. And I'll check it later in class or sometime, whenever I feel like it. And then we are going to go down here, write and solve problems with tens. So number 16. It says, write a word problem that can be solved using the division 60 divided by 10. Then write a related multiplication word problem. So, should we do this? I think we'll do this in class together. So hold off, don't do 16 or 17, but please do number 15 on your own, and I will check it in class, and I will talk to you or see you guys later.